Hello and welcome to my first tag video. So today I'm going to be doing the Disney Kpop tag, and I saw this video on Katie Boo's channel, and I think it was first started by Alicia, and I thought this was a really fun idea because I love Disney, I love Kpop, and this is one of the best ways to put them together. I do have to warn you guys that I'm fairly new to K-pop, and that is why I actually chose to not do one of the questions, which I'll list in the description box down below, because it's only been a year since I've started collecting K-pop. Actually, this month literally is my 1-year anniversary, if you want to say, of my K-pop album collection. So yeah, I wasn't sure what to do for the first one, and I really couldn't think of something that would go really well with that question as an answer. So I'm just gonna start with the second question. So the first question, which I have decided to skip, is the Little Mermaid album, which is a K-pop group or artist that is out of their element, or a fish out of water, and I wasn't really sure what to put for it. I tried looking among the albums that I have, and I really couldn't decide on one album, so I decided to skip that. But I have added one question at the end, so I have 10 questions in total. So let's do the second one. The second one is Cinderella, which is a K-pop group or artist that went through a huge transformation. And what better group or artist than SHINee? So this is SHINee's first full-length album, well, the first album repackaged, Amigo. And then you compare it to their newest album, Odd. They have come such a long way, such a beautiful journey, and SHINee is just great. This was when I got into SHINee as a group. I got into Taemin a little before getting into SHINee as a group. But from here, I've been backtracking SHINee's albums, and I have reached Amigo, and it's awesome. It's just so wonderful to see their journey from the 5 little boys here to the 5 grown men here who sound and look and dance amazingly. So that's my little SHINee Cinderella story, if you want to say that. Number 3 is Snow White, a K-pop group with eclectic members or eccentric members, and for this one I have to say EXO. Well, here I only have Kyungsu, so I actually should have gotten out my album with all the EXO members. So let me do that in just a second. There you go. Now we have all of the EXO members. So EXO is one group in which all of the members have such different personalities, but they come together very well. I mean, you have a personality like a happy virus, you have a unicorn, you have Kyungsu, whose looks could kill. But I love Kyungsu. He is my ultimate bias, and he's amazing. Then you have Xiumin, who is the oldest, but sometimes acts like the youngest. He's awesome too, by the way. He reminds me of a teddy bear with stars coming out of his eyes. I don't know if that makes sense, but he's pretty awesome. And then you have Suho, who's like the mother of the entire group. So yeah, this is a great group with so many members and so many different personalities. And EXO is one of my top bias groups, I have to admit. So yeah, so that's my little Snow White group. And the reason I still have Kyungsu here is because of the next one, which is Sleeping Beauty, a K-pop album that puts you to sleep. So instead of having just one album, I actually have multiple albums because of multiple reasons. One, Kyungsu puts me to sleep almost every night because I absolutely love his voice, and 2 of his songs where it's just him pretty much singing, and I think one more person for his most recent collaboration for Tell Me What Is Love, and he sounds so good in that one. And his other song, Crying Out, from the movie Cart, in which he appeared, so that was his contribution to the OST. He just sounds so brilliant. So yeah, Kyungsu's voice is amazing, and it puts me to sleep almost every night. And also EXO's Miracles in December is another album that is really, really nice to listen to when I go to bed. I have a playlist on my phone which I have made out of my favorite ballad songs from the K-pop albums I have, and OSTs. So I really like collecting OSTs, and very soon I'm going to be doing an OST collection video of all of the OSTs that I have. And I really like to listen to the more ballady OSTs when I go to sleep as well. And just a few examples would be the Who Are You OST. This is School 2015, and some of the songs on this were just awesome. This is a really nice design too for the OST. And you have Kill Me, Heal Me, Auditory Hallucinations. The first song from the OST is really good. I use the word awesome and amazing very often for these, but they are really, really good. And another drama that I loved, which came out last year, and again, I love the OST for that one too, is Healer. So these are just a few examples of the OSTs that I listen to on pretty much a daily basis. Okay, so number 5 is The Lion King, a K-pop group or artist that had a terrible past. So again, disclaimer, I have only really gotten into K-pop over the past year, so I don't know the pasts of many groups. So the one that comes to mind would be EXO because of, well, obvious reasons. This album is a good example of why. So in this album, we have 9 members versus their first album, which had 12 members. So we had the whole 3 members leaving with EXO, and I think that qualifies as a Lion King statement, sort of. Please excuse me if I say anything wrong. Again, this is just my first year into K-pop, so I don't know the large pasts of a lot of the groups. I'm trying my best to learn though. Right, so, but I love EXO, have to say that. It's one of my bias groups. Right, so number 6. A beast of an album, a big album that you were intimidated by but found the contents of it just so amazingly beautiful. For this one, I have 2 answers. The first one is Super Junior's Devil. Now, when this album came out, I heard that this was going to be a special album for Super Junior. And I had heard a few of Super Junior's songs before, but I wasn't super into them. I'd heard Sorry Sorry, I'd heard Mr. Simple, and I'd heard Mamacita, but I hadn't listened to any of their other non-title track songs. Then Devil came out, and I bought it because I wanted to listen to a full album. And the first time I listened to it, whenever a new song would come on, I would literally stop doing what I was doing and listen to that song, because this album has such amazing songs. It is just a beautiful album front to back. And so my favorite song from this album, if I can get this to focus, there you go, is the third song, Stars Appear, or Byori Dunda. I don't know what it is about that song, but it blows my mind every time I listen to that song. And yeah, so this is one of my favorite Super Junior releases too. And then the second album that just blew me away, again, the first time I listened to it, both as an album, as a single, and I was kind of intimidated by that group before I really gave it a good listen. So I'm really glad I did, because or else it wouldn't have been one of my bias groups now. Yeah, now they are one of my bias groups too. It's VIX's Voodoo. So I'd heard about VIX before, and I was like, okay, yeah, they're a good-looking group. I'd heard On and On, and I'd really like that song. But I hadn't listened to an entire album from VIX before. And then I saw Voodoo. I saw the music video, I listened to that song, and that song was awesome. So I thought, okay, let's listen to the entire album and then decide whether I want it. So I listened to that entire album, and it blew me away, because I loved all of the songs that they have on this album. They have a few of their singles that they had before this album came out in here as well. And the whole sound that VIX has is It's really, really good. So yeah, this is another Beauty and the Beast album. Yeah, VIX is great. Right, so then the next one, number 7, is Aladdin, a K-pop album that granted your wish for better or worse. And again, I have 2 answers for this one. My first answer, Kyungsoo, come back. Hello, Kyungsoo. So, what do you see about this album? You have Kyungsoo. He's my ultimate bias, so I have to love him. I do love him. And the next thing is that EXO did an astronomy theme. Kind of. Well, they are in spacesuits, aren't they? And of course, you have Sehun in a spacesuit. He did film some of his sequences in a spacesuit. So it's like my 2 favorite things coming together, K-pop and astronomy. So I study astronomy, for those of you who don't know. And this was the best thing that K-pop could do to me, because you have my ultimate bias in a spacesuit, one of my bias groups in spacesuits, singing beautiful songs. What more can I want? Also, it was a ballady release, and I absolutely love ballads. So, yeah, that was my wish. That was granted. And the second album that I'll be talking about is Astro's debut album, Spring Up. And again, I study astronomy. I could not be interested in Astro, and I was, and I'm really glad that I am, because this album is really, really good. So I've been following Astro since they were announced, and I also watched their little mini drama, and I really wanted them to release an OST for that drama as an actual album or something like that, but they have included it in this album. So yeah, this album serves 2 purposes. It's both the debut album for Astro, and it has the OST from their dramas. So it's pretty awesome. Let's keep that here. Number 8, Mulan, a K-pop group or artist who pretends to be something they're not. So again, I couldn't really think of something in the literal sense, but I decided to go with Taemin. So the reason I chose Taemin is because you see Taemin when he is on shows, when he is on stage with his other members, and you think, he's such a cute little maknae, he's a little baby, he's so adorable. And then he comes out with Ace and Press It, in which he is amazing. I mean, he's amazing in Shiny too, but then he comes out with this, and this album also blew me away. Soldier is my favorite song from Press It, and his vocals for Soldier are just so soothing. It's one of my top additions to my sleeping playlist, because that voice. His voice is awesome. He just captures the stage when he comes on stage, and his dancing is amazing. His voice is amazing. He looks amazing. He has come such a long way from his debut days that, yeah, Taemin is Mulan for me. So number 9, Toy Story, the one group or artist that you wish to see live. And for this one, I knew from the moment I read the question who I wanted this artist to be, and that is CN Blue. So I have been into CN Blue since before I was into K-pop. And CN Blue is one of those groups who you can tell will sound the best when you hear them live. Because one, they're an actual band, and bands sound amazing live. And I have seen videos of their live performances, and they just seem like they have so much energy, and their interactions with the fans, with the audience is just brilliant. So I really hope I can see CN Blue live someday. One day. And number 10, Disney Descendants, your favorite K-pop group or artist that is really good at playing evil characters. I mean, is this even a surprise? Because I agree with Katie Boo's answer. I just saw Shaol 360's video, and they have the same answer, and that is VIX. VIX has this way of playing the evil characters or doing dark concepts in the best way possible. You have Voodoo here, which is obviously a dark concept, which they excelled at. Then you have Chained Up that just came out. You have Error. You have Eternity. They're brilliant with these concepts, and they just fit into that concept so well that I feel like all of these evil dark concepts are made for VIX. And now for number 11, that is my personal addition to this. Feel free to not do it if you don't want to, but I decided to add this so that I could get 10 whole questions. So this one, number 11, is what's the most Disney concept out of all of the albums that you own? And for me, this was kind of an obvious answer because I really wanted to get this album the moment I saw what the album was going to be like, and I really liked their music video too and their performance video. And the answer for this one is Oh My Girl, Closer. 1. This looks like a book. It looks like an actual little fairy tale. Let me put that here. It actually looks like a little fairy tale book. It is even fashioned in the same way. The music video is like a fairy tale. And the best part is, sorry about that, my camera just fell. This album has a story in it. I mean, you can't get more Disney than that. It actually has a really nice, cute little story to go with the album. And for me, this is the most Disney concept that a K-pop group has done that I can remember. Do let me know in the comments down below if there is any other concept that you have seen that is a more Disney concept from K-pop. So that finishes my 10 questions for the Disney Kpop tag. And I'm sorry, this turned out to be a much longer video than I thought it was going to be. And thanks for watching. I do tag all of you who see this to do a K-pop tag. And in particular, I would like to tag Sue and everyone else who wants to do this tag. Please do. I would really like to know what your answers are for this. Thanks for watching. Happy K-popping.